All right, so today we're doing a long overdue shadow and schmooze. This is where I put on makeup, answer your questions. This is a big catch up on what's been going on in life video. I'm talking about the thing that happened in December, all of the stuff lately. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Everything I used on my face today will be listed down below in the description box. Grab your coffee, grab your burritos. Here we go. Okay, I feel like I am out of practice. Is this my first YouTube video ever? Maybe. So I'm gonna pull up your questions from Instagram, chat through everything. We're doing makeup. I haven't filmed a sit down video in so long. Moving, all the things, we're gonna talk about it all. I feel like a catch up video is so overdue. I just put on one of my favorite primers, the NYX Marshmallow. So I have all my makeup here again, which is so crazy to go through. I still have to organize everything. It's like literally just sitting in boxes in the closet still. So just to give you like a timeline first before I get into the questions. So I've been in the new apartment for, I wanna say 3 weeks maybe. I've been documenting some of the moving process in all the vlogs. So if you wanna catch up on that, there are many vlogs. Let's start getting into the questions, doing the makeup. Okay, adulting, things you have to do in moving states / establishing residence. I feel like this depends on the state. I just went on the Oregon website and saw what I had to do. My process was really easy. I just signed an apartment lease. Once you have the lease, then you're technically like a resident once you're like permanently living there, and you can get your new license in the state. It's more just like switching everything over, you know, like credit card things, bank addresses, just like all the little stuff, insurance. And also with getting a new car, which I did get a new car. Never talked about it, but with getting a car, that was another thing where you have to have the permanent, you have to show that you actually live there, at least in Oregon, because we don't have sales tax. So you had to show that you live here so that you don't pay sales tax when you get a car. I'm going with the Kosas tinted face oil because I haven't used this in, oh, this is gonna be too light right now. And it's dripping down everywhere. And I gotta mute my phone. This is gonna be an interesting video because I literally feel like I haven't filmed ever. Actually, is it gonna be too dark? What are you most excited about for this new chapter in your life? I just feel really mentally like good here. I'm just excited to meet new friends, like go out there, try new things, be in a new place, but I'm excited about everything. Being in nature, being in the Pacific Northwest, all of it. And this is kind of going along with that, but there were a few questions about just like the overwhelm of moving. This person said, how are you dealing with that, the overwhelm of the move? And honestly, the move has been easy. I mean, I'm used to bouncing around. I'm used to like being uncomfortable and putting yourself out there and doing these things. So like, this is the opposite of overwhelm to me. This is like, oh, okay, I'm moving. I'm like settling in here. Yeah, it's just been fun and easy so far. Obviously, the moving part of just like getting everything here and that whole process was just busy, but thankfully my mom, that would have taken me 2 months to do what my mom and I did in like 5 days. So I'm just super thankful for that. You know, that's just how it goes with moving. There's just always, even if you think it's not going to be a lot, it's always a lot. But the hard part is definitely over. And now I'm just doing the fun part of like organizing, getting more furniture. I like change. So I've never had that sense of like feeling super uncomfortable. It's more just like excitement to me. And it's exciting to be in a new place and figure everything out. So any updates in the dating life? Love you. Love you too. Yeah. Just gonna say that for now. But yes, things are going well. Very well. And I am very excited about it. Whoa, this brow pencil is darker than I've been going for lately. This is the Wet n Wild. Yeah, the shade is too dark, but that's okay. So there were a lot of questions about my Seattle place and if I ended up selling it, did I rent it out? Like what's going on with that? This ties into kind of like the chaos of the last couple months. I still own the Seattle place. It's been rented out for a few years now, ever since I moved out of it. I guess like, 3-4 years now. And I actually have another rental property. I don't think I've ever talked about that. The move when I left Seattle 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, the other property had a huge, the whole building had a massive like water damage accident where the fire alarm, the sprinklers went off in the attic and like flooded the entire building. So my unit, everyone's unit was completely torn down to the studs. The tenants had to move out, break their lease. That happened right when I was moving out of Seattle. That one to me wasn't too difficult because there's an HOA for the building who was mostly dealing with like, there was actually a whole lawsuit. It was a big thing. The HOA sued the builders because it was their fault and ended up winning. But because of that, the HOA were the ones mostly dealing with insurance. So it was like very, it was minimal work on my end. It was stressful at the beginning because obviously there's tenants in there. So dealing with that whole thing, my insurance covered loss of rent, and it all like worked out. It was fine. So I had done that before. I had gone through the whole process of like a water damage incident. And to me, it's like, if you get into real estate investing, that's just part of it. Things come up. I've had other repairs come up. If that like massively stresses you out, then don't do it. For me, it was, I knew that was part of the gig, that's part of doing it. That doesn't stress me out. I actually think it would be something I would like to have, like a property management company that's actually good, because it is very difficult to find a good property manager. If you have a good one, it makes your life so much easier, especially if you're not in the state or the city where the property is. And that's the whole thing. If I was living in the city where they are, I probably would manage it myself. The only thing is you have to be aware of like handymen, and a lot of the property managers have in-house contractors and handymen that they work with if something comes up. And if you're in a city like Seattle, for example, it can actually be difficult to get someone to come out in like a timely manner if you don't have them like contracted. I haven't been in the city for 2 years. So that's why I have property managers. But if you are looking into doing something like this, just be aware that you have to manage the property managers. Truly, it's a little ridiculous. I have one that I really like at the other property. He's great. He's on top of it. No errors, no accounting errors. Like, that's how it should be. It's like a smaller company. And then the other ones that I've dealt with have just been nightmares, and definitely like, you need to double check the monthly statements. You need to double check all of their work and what they're saying, and just all of it. So to go back to what happened in December, which I had kind of like hinted to something stressful going on right around the holidays. The Seattle property that had a tenant in it, my unit, the only unit in the whole building, had a massive sewage backup. And I'm not going to give too many details because there might be like legal things happening. My unit was the first one on the line, on the sewage line, that got backed up. So the bathroom was covered in shitsies. It was very mismanaged, to say the least. I wasn't clued into all the details. I was just told it was like a plumbing issue at the beginning. There was just like all this crazy shit that was happening. This was like right before Christmas when I was taking time off of YouTube. I was on the phone for hours every day, going between the community manager, insurance, my property manager, the tenant. But the interesting thing and the difficult thing was that the tenant was super not cooperative or honestly rational, which, I get it. It was the week before Christmas. Like, I did everything in my power to make it as easy as possible for her. I did everything fair and by the book and whatever, but basically she was just refusing to move out her stuff. And so what happened was the shit was just sitting there for like 20 days. We couldn't get water mitigation in. We couldn't get water damage in. We couldn't do anything. There's like a lot of details I'm leaving out of this, but it was just like a total nightmare. Half the time the tenant just like wouldn't reply. She left shit everywhere when she moved out, left a ton of furniture. By the time the water damage company came in and could like clean everything up, and it wasn't just that it needed to be cleaned up, all of the walls, flooring, baseboards, like everything had to be torn out. It was very different than the last water damage incident I dealt with. And it was a lot of me also like just researching stuff on my own, basically like taking over the job of the property manager, because there's so many things that they did that are just nuts. Honestly, I'm not gonna get into it, but like, whoa. So I was just taking over that whole situation. And so it's actually still going on, but the worst of it is definitely over. Like, the tenant is out, the repairs are being done, should be done really soon now. And then there'll be, a new tenant going in there. And I am switching property management companies. That's what I've been researching this week, calling people. So to me, it's part of it. But I do want to say, like, if you're thinking about getting into real estate, this is just, it's part of what can happen with buildings. But definitely learned a lot of things throughout this process this time around. I'm gonna use the new milk jelly cooling water jelly tints. I've been trying other shades of this and I like how it goes on. I just feel like they're not that long lasting. I haven't tried this shade yet. This is in the shade Chill. Ooh, I need wipes. I'm leaving out so many details, but there's so many things that went on that were just, I mean, illegal, like not on my behalf, but of the community manager. It was just a lot of like talking to different lawyers, seeing if I need to do anything. And I'm like in the mindset of, personally, I would rather not have the stress of like lawsuits and stuff. So we'll see what happens, but that's a little bit of what's been going on the last, 3 months now. But yeah, I do think it would be like something I would like to do. Either having a staging company, like house staging for real estate, or owning a property management company that is actually good. A lot of them are just super scammy, negligent. Like it's amazing the stuff that they get away with. How did you know it was time to settle down? And someone else also asked, was there a single event / situation, etc., that made you decide to quit the nomad life? No, I think I had mentioned in maybe, when was that, November, that I was definitely going to be, like I was feeling ready to start settling down and choosing somewhere. But initially, I actually was going to be moving in like the spring or summer. And then once, you know, the holidays hit and everything, I just was ready. I was very ready. And I just felt like it was time. And it's very interesting because as soon as that happened, things just kind of started like weirdly falling into place. And I just feel like the timing was right. No, there wasn't a single event. It was like building, like I had been getting more and more tired and like ready to be in one place. And it's not to say I'm not going to like continue to travel. I love traveling, but now I have a home base, which feels really good. And I can do like smaller trips or, you know, an international trip every now and then, but not constant. How much was the dating scene part of your location choice when choosing a home? Okay, so this is something that I thought a lot about. I'm gonna use the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. So I will say initially I was definitely overthinking that, like way overthinking that. Whenever I would talk to friends, they would just say, follow your gut, be in the place that you want to be in. And I kind of had a hard time believing that because I'm just like, I'm looking at the numbers, okay? Like if you're in a certain city with a certain type of person, like I just feel like your chances are higher of like meeting someone. I was just thinking like too, I guess, like analytically about this. But here's the thing. I feel like you're your best self when you're like happy doing things you like doing in an environment, in a place that like feels good to you. So I just decided to like let that go and just do what I wanted to do, be where I wanted to be. In my mind, I was kind of like, okay, let's see, like, let's reevaluate at a year, see where things are. If it's like, see how the dating scene is, see how it's been, go from there. Have you considered a road trip through Canada? Seems like a fun idea since you love the Pacific Northwest. Yes, I would love to do that. It looks so freaking beautiful. I would absolutely love to do that. Are you planning any international travel this year? I really want, like top of my list right now, I feel like is Japan, but I feel like I would want to do Japan during cherry blossom season, and South America. I've never been to South America anywhere. Don't know the timing of everything. It's weird because I'm so excited about being here. It's like I don't want to leave. And even like doing, you know, smaller trips, I'm like, I just want to enjoy every season here. And so thinking about planning a trip in like the fall or something, it's like I want to be here in the fall. I want to like enjoy the fall leaves and, you know, see Oregon in the fall and do all that kind of stuff. We'll see. I don't know the timing of it, but I definitely have, you know, places on my bucket list, but I have no idea. I might like chill here this year and just like enjoy it and then do more international travel next year. I really have no plans right now. I'm just kind of like going with the flow. Anything from the last couple of years you do differently? That's a good question. Let me think on that. Yes, I do have a couple things. I wish I would have like joined Facebook groups and like done more outreach within the digital nomad community just to meet more people doing the same thing that I was doing, because I would meet people like in cities just through walking tours and stuff, but it was more like, okay, we'll hang out while we're here, and you know, that's kind of that. But I do think it would have been nice to like meet a couple people doing the exact same thing and then like potentially go around and travel with them. It is really nice, the co-working houses or co-living houses, co-live, co-work, because everyone's like working during the day, but then you have like a built-in community to do things at night. I also think, and this is just a thought, I don't know if it's something that I could have done differently, but it's very easy to compare when you're in your early 20s, staying in hostels and being crazy. Shit gets crazy. I just feel like there's this whole other like travel, at least for me, like that was prime time, baby. I just feel like that era of life was so fun. If you're in your early 20s watching this, or mid 20s, whatever, I mean, you can do this at any point, but I just feel like there's something about like being that age and staying in hostels, and it's so like freeing, and that kind of travel phase is it's hard to get back into that in your 30s. And I think it's just a combo of like, you know, when you're staying in hostels, it skews a little bit younger, so it just feels a little bit weird. And I also think I'm just like out of my like crazy party phase that was more like college, early 20s. But that is like a lot of my travel memories from being in my early 20s are those kind of things. So it's kind of easy to compare. Did I not have enough fun? Did I not get like crazy enough? Did I not do these things? And it's just different, you know, like you're in a different phase of life. But that was just like such a fun point in life that I do wish I did back then more of that. Now that you have your own space, are you going to do more videos around makeup? Yeah, I feel like I'm going to do, you know, not like all videos makeup. I think it's going to be similar to what I've been doing the last couple of years, which is a combo of vlogs and makeup and whatever other topics I want to talk about. But I am curious because now I feel like there's kind of like a mishmash of people who follow me. Some from, I really need to get a makeup wipe. Some from the travel videos, Nomad videos, some from makeup, some from years ago. So I am curious, if you're watching this, please let me know, like when did you pop in and what kind of videos are you interested in? Because I am still going to be doing, you know, some travel is obviously not going to be as much, but right now I'm more so just in like the lifestyle vlogs, videos. I am interested in incorporating more like cooking into my vlogs and just trying new things, because I feel like that's something that I'm really excited about. Having a new place is just like experimenting more with cooking. I feel like I've been getting better and trying new things, and I've been enjoying it more, which is kind of weird for me. Yes, please let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see. The last couple months I know it's been very light on the makeup videos, and that's just because of how everything has gone down and moving and all of this stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be doing more sit down makeup-y videos, whatever. I don't know, guys. I just do whatever I feel like filming, and I hope that other people want to watch it, because after 11 years, the burnout can be real. And ooh, speaking of burnout, I talked about burnout in like one of my last shadow interviews. I feel like it has been interesting with the timing of the whole water damage thing, because December was going to be kind of like my time to take time off, recharge, reset from YouTube, and then like get back into it, because I was feeling like very burnt out at the end of the year. And because of the other stuff that happened, I feel like I didn't really ever have that reset. And then I just jumped back into YouTube. So we'll see. Right now, I don't feel like I need to take time off of YouTube, but if I do start feeling that burnout feeling again, then might need to do that and not wait until the very end of the year, December, like I've done the last couple of years. This is the Charlotte Tilbury powder. I haven't used this in a hot minute. I'm gonna take the browns in this palette, just kind of mix them and then smudge. I want like a soft, ethereal kind of eye, and I'm gonna do corner lashes. But yeah, I'm excited. I wanna like test new makeup, go to Sephora, get back into it, get things organized. I feel like once my makeup is organized, then I'm gonna be rolling, baby. What's the overall best feeling you've had about getting to be settled in a home now? I feel like it didn't hit me. Like I was just like going through all of the motions and stuff. And then once my mom left, I was like sitting in the bathtub with my Epsom salt and my colored light, which is like one of my favorite things to do. And I just was laying there in the bath like, whoa, this is my bathtub. And I can do this whenever I want, and I'm not leaving. I don't know, I just had a moment of like, oh, whoa, wait, this is my home now. And it felt very exciting. Do you plan to finish the ACOTAR series? Yes. The thing is, I feel like I need to read them back to back, or else I completely forget what just happened. Like I already feel like I need to reread like the second half of the second book. I've only read books 1 and 2. I'm reading Throne of Glass right now, but I honestly haven't had like any time to read. So I'm moving real slow on the reading so far at the start of this year, but want to get back into it. But yes, I will be finishing it. I just need to keep it going so I don't forget what's happening. Do you feel sad that you didn't end up moving somewhere more adventurous like Spain? No, not at all. Like I talked about in, I think the last Shadow and Schmooze, I just felt like that's something I still want to do, at least for like a short period of time, but it just did not feel like the right timing. I was exhausted, and to do something like that, we were like moving to a new country, learning a new language, that it's not the right time. I needed something just like chill, mellow. I wasn't in the mindset. Love doing that. Like I love living in other countries and like having that whole experience. But I think if I am going to do that, I'll know when I'm ready to do that. And it just, yeah, it wasn't the right time. Are you missing anything about nomad life yet? No. Yeah, no. What exactly did you study? Was it something humanities related? I studied international relations, Arabic, and then had a business minor. Will you start posting empties videos? I miss them. Yes, I already have my bin, my trash bin. It's piling up already. Empties videos are coming back now that I can have a bucket of trash. When are you going to buy another property? I feel like it'll be where I'm living, but I don't know how long I'm going to stay in this apartment. We'll see like how things play out. But yeah, I feel like the next place that I buy will be somewhere where I'm living, not a rental. And along with that, why are you renting and not buying? Do you not plan on being in Oregon long term? So I'm renting for a few reasons. Initially, I was looking at buying here first, but my main thing was that I do want to do and document like a fixer-upper. So I think if I do buy a place for myself, it would be a fixer-upper. And if you're doing that, it's hard to, live as you're remodeling somewhere. So my thought with this is like, I'm going to start looking. If something comes up, that would be great so that I can live here while I start renovating a different place. That's one idea. The other thought was that I did want to make sure that I wanted to be here before buying something. And then the other big thing with renting was that I wanted to be somewhere where I was like around people. I feel like if you move to a new place and you're in a house by yourself, it's just like a little more isolating versus being in an apartment building. Like I see people all the time. I'm seeing people in the elevator, like downstairs. Like it's very social and friendly. And I like that, especially moving somewhere new. I feel like I can hermit if I'm in that environment versus like if I'm around people, it makes me want to do more social things. That was the main reason actually, is just like the social part of it and meeting people. Do you miss the old YouTube days when it was mainly tutorials and makeup? No, not at all. I feel like there was so much, I wasn't involved in it, but like there was so much makeup drama and just drama in general on YouTube that I feel like has kind of like passed. People have moved on to like TikTok drama, which is great. Those kind of videos still exist. There's still tutorials. There's still makeup videos. It just might not be from like the people with, 5 million subscribers or whatever. Did you move to Oregon so you could be halfway between friends and family? That was a factor for sure because I am so close to Seattle. So I can go back, visit friends, visit Rach, visit Riley. And then I'm also very, close and easy to fly to San Diego, where my family is. So that was definitely something that was a bonus versus like if I moved to Atlanta or something, it would just be like more of a trek. Lots of questions about chronic pain, just checking to see where you're at with that. Tips on how to navigate life with chronic pain. I want to exercise, but it flares me up. Nothing for me has changed. It's still very much a part of my daily life. Surgery is still on the table. I don't know. I was waiting until after the traveling and then kind of like revisiting all the health stuff. But tips on how to navigate life with chronic pain. I want to exercise, but it flares me up. Same. So I think you just have to come to terms with your reality and do what you can with your body. So for example, like I am never going to be able to be someone who works out every single day and gets like the kind of body that I would love to have and like able to work out and lift weights. Like I can't do that. I can walk. So I walk as much as I can. I can do like lower body stuff. So I'll do that if I feel good enough. But yeah, a lot of the times like the workout videos will put me in a full blown flare up for a few days if I do one of them and like something triggers. I just try to not be hard on myself anymore about your limitations, and it's very easy to compare like the things that you're able to do versus someone else who's healthy. Not being so black or white and just trying to do what you can in the hours that you're good. If I'm having a day where I'm like, oh, whoa, okay, wait, is this a little bit what it feels like for most people? It's just like mind blowing to me because I feel like I would be freaking unstoppable. Like it's just wild to me that there's some people who feel good and can do whatever they want every single day. But a way to cope with that, I think, is just being grateful and having gratitude for when you do feel good enough to do things and you're like functioning. I think it is really important to have people in your life who, even though no one can understand it, no one can feel what you're feeling, having people that are empathetic towards it, being around people who help you mentally, physically, whatever. I'm gonna do a little mascara, but I also want to put on corner lashes. So what was the fate of the leopard robe? I need to know. The leopard robe did in fact get donated before moving. I actually thought that it was in one of the boxes. Like, I don't remember getting rid of it, and I am kind of regretting it because I feel like that is a monumental, it's like part of my YouTube channel. If you're newer here, my old vlogs used to be called leopard robe vlogs, and I had this massive fluffy leopard robe. We had some good chats in that leopard robe. Yeah, maybe I need to find a replacement. Now that you found a new home, what's on your vision board for 2024? I'll pop in my vision board here. I made it in one of the vlogs and kind of talked through everything. I feel like if you're gonna do a vision board, put it, like, literally make it your phone background or computer background. Mine is both. Last year when I did this, that was the first time I made a vision board, and I did not do that. And I will say, I feel like it does make a difference, only because when you're looking at your phone 50,000 times a day, you're looking at those images every day and you're thinking about it, and you're just more likely to like take action on that. I'm not really one that thinks like it's just gonna friggin' come to you. I do think you need to, like, with certain things, take action to make that happen. But because you're looking at it all the time, I do think it's just more top of mind, where I'm like, oh yeah, I do wanna sign up for a pickleball class, or I do wanna, you know, meet people and have people over here and entertain, or whatever it is. I do think in that way, I've already seen like a difference just with thinking about all those things more and being more conscious of like, oh wait, these are the things I want this year. Let's make that happen. Do you carry any Jordan culture with you in your daily life? Yes. I feel like Jordan taught me like a certain level of just like care for other people, and in like the sense of in your home, family values, the importance of family, helping each other out. One of the life things that I feel like is just like gonna be so emotional, and I could cry just like thinking about it right now. I'm gonna cry. It's just like when I have a husband and kids, like bringing them to my Jordan family and like seeing that interact, and same with my parents. Like, my parents have already met my Jordan family, and that was amazing and something I still think about all the time. But like just having those two worlds and like families collide is just gonna be, I'm gonna be just like bawling in a hot mess, because like the people that I grew up with and stayed with are now, you know, my age, have kids. And then like if I have kids, having them meet their kids is just gonna be like mind blowing. And yeah, I will just be crying straight for the entire trip as I try to put on false lashes. My eyes watery. Do you think you will get a dog now that you're settling for a while? So I'm going to wait until I have a place with a yard. It's difficult because if I'm out of commission, you still have to walk a dog. You still have to, you know, take them outside and like care for them. And so that can be impossible sometimes. Like, it's not a choice. It's not like I'm going to rally and like go walk the dog. Sometimes it's like I will puke if I stand up. So no, I think until I have a yard and I can just like let them out if need be, and or someone else to help like care for the dog, I would wait until it was one of those two situations. I cannot wait until that day arrives, truly. Ooh, how do you know if you want kids or not in the future? Struggling with this decision. Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of people right now. I mean, people are getting married later, having kids later, deciding if they even want or can afford it, or like there's just other factors to consider too. I feel like I can't answer that question. I don't know how you know. I feel like I had a turning point where it just became more solidified for me. Like, I've always wanted kids. I've always said I wanted kids. I want a big family. And for me, that's what I think about, is that like when I picture being 40, 50, 60, like I want people around me. I want a big family. I want that like environment. Comment down below if like you were on the fence, and then what was the thing that pushed you over one way or the other and like made you solidify your decision. Thoughts on being in your late 20s and how to make the most of it. This is kind of funny because I feel like late 20s are like your early 30s, except I feel like your early 30s are better than your late 20s for some reason. So how to make the most of it? I mean, I feel like it's the same for any age. Like, be grateful, enjoy life, do things you want to do. And way easier said than done, but try not to put like pressure on yourself for whatever it may be, meeting someone, kids, like all the things. That's something that is so easy to do, and I do a lot too. I don't have that figured out either, but I feel like I would have more answers for that if it was like your early 20s. You're dating green flags. Ooh, I have a lot. Someone who makes me laugh and is funny is like top of the list for me, but also empathetic, thoughtful, cares about their family, wants a family, doesn't make me question how they feel or like play dumb games, communicates well, is open, and just someone I can have fun with. Like, I feel like doing the basic things, even if it's nothing crazy. This is e.l.f. lip liner in soft pink. Is adventurous, or at least is open to like trying new things. I'm hoping this isn't too pink, but I'm gonna try this lip oil. It's the Clio Crystal Glam tint in the shade 3, Flushed Peach. Consistency is nice. It's very moisturizing. It feels almost just like a, is this gonna dry down? Feels like a lip tint. It is a little more pink than I'm going for. Let me find a gloss. I'm gonna go dig in my closet here. Okay, to tone down the pink a little bit, let's do Milani Soft Rose. This is one of my favorite glosses. Has a really nice like muted kind of tone. Yeah, there we go. That is what we needed. Okay, this is the final look. I'm gonna have all the makeup on my face down below. Hope you enjoyed catching up a little bit. It did feel very good and almost like therapeutic to just sit down and talk. This is not gonna be the final setup. I have things just like thrown together in the background right now just so it wasn't a white wall. And thanks for all your sweet comments lately, just with the move and everything. I've been getting so many kind comments and DMs, and I just really appreciate it. So I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.